Hi, thank you so much for creating your application to become a tutor with us here at Tutorful. In this video, I'll talk about some tips to consider whilst creating your profile. It's really important to create a great profile, as this is what students will first see when looking for a tutor on our platform, so it's definitely worth having a look at the video to get some tips as to make the best application with us.
In order to create your profile, you'll just need to complete all the sections of the profile information part of your account. This can be accessed by clicking on the profile tab when you log in, and this will take you to the editor page. The first part of your profile that you'll need to complete is your tagline. This should be a short, snappy line to quickly describe yourself to students, as this is what they'll first see when going through search results. So it's really important to make a good first impression and grab their attention. You can add in your tagline here, and when you're finished, just click the save button. Next, you'll need to put in your rate, and when it comes to the rate, most tutors charge between £15 to £35 an hour for lessons. However, it is ultimately your choice. We'd recommend if you maybe have slightly less experience, it's best to start with a slightly lower rate. However, if you do have a few years experience, or you're maybe a qualified teacher, you can potentially charge a little bit more. It's important to not price yourself out of the market, so it's worth doing some research and maybe having a look at some of our current tutors on the site with similar levels of experience to you and see what they're charging. When setting your rate, please do have a look at the platform fee calculator to see how much you'll earn, and make sure you set your rate at a price that you're happy with. Following that, you'll then need to add in your bio, and this is one of the main sections of your profile that can really make you stand out compared to other tutors, so it's worth spending some time on this section. The best bios outline why you're qualified to teach the subjects that you've chosen and outline your tutoring experience. It's also really good to go over your teaching style, describe to students what your lessons will look like, and if you do set things like homework or assessments, as this can really differentiate you. It will need to be a minimum of 750 characters, and you can't include any contact details or website links, as students will be able to send you a message via the site. Once you've completed your bio, again, just click save to move on. You'll next have to add in your profile picture, and this just needs to be a clear colour picture of you by yourself. And whilst they may be fun, we ask that you don't upload pictures with any filters on. It's best to use a professional picture, however, it doesn't need to be a passport image. Please do smile. If you click on the edit button, you will then see a page open up in the file manager on your computer, where you can then just select the appropriate file and add that in. Next is your qualifications, and it's really important to list these on your profile as it allows students to easily see that you've got the required knowledge in order to help them. You can add in degrees, A-levels, and for any that don't quite fit into those sections, you can just pop them into the other section. After that, you can then add in your subjects, and we found that students do respond best to tutors who don't offer every single subject on the site, but are rather really focused on the subjects that they have the most knowledge in. Generally, we ask that you have a qualification a level above that which you want to teach, for example, an English A-level in order to teach GCSE. However, if you do have experience tutoring a particular subject and level that isn't reflected in your qualifications, you'll just need to explain that in your bio. Once you've completed the main section of your profile, you can also add in the extra information. The first section of that is the DBS. So if you do have an enhanced DBS check, Access NI or PVG certificate from the last 2 years, you can just upload it here. We will just need an image of the first page of the certificate, and if you're on the update service, you can add in those details here as well. In order to do so, you'll just need to click on this button and then add in your certificate number, last name and date of birth. Once you've done so, we'll then check it on the DBS update service and approve both if we find a record of it. After that is a qualified teacher status. So if you do have QTS status, you can add that in here. and also select which program that you've gone through in order to gain that status. The last section of your profile that you'll just need to set is your teaching preferences. So through Tutorful, you're able to teach either online only or online and in-person sessions. If you select online and in-person, you'll also just need to set your distance, so how far you're willing to travel to students, and also where you're happy to deliver lessons. Once you click save, you'll then go back to the profile editor. Brilliant, so that's the profile step of the application. And once you've done that, you can also preview your profile at any point just by clicking the preview profile button. This then allows you to see your profile exactly how potential students will see it as and when you are live. Once you've completed your profile, the next step is to set your availability. So you can either do so here or by clicking on the set availability button. You can easily add in your availability on a given day by clicking on it and then changing the time slot. You can also add in a different slot on that same day, again just by clicking the plus button. You can do that for each day of the week, and naturally once you've completed it, just click save. After you set your availability, the next step is to set your account details. So if we click on the next button, you'll first have to add in your identification. We do need to see an image of your identification and have proof of your billing address in order to comply with money laundering regulations when paying you for sessions. You can upload the documents by completing this form, and the best form of ID to upload is a driving license. If the address on your driving license is the same as your billing address, you can use the same ID to verify both your identity and address at the same time. And you can select that option by scrolling down and clicking the yes. However, if you don't have a photo driving license or the address doesn't match, you can upload a passport and either a bill, bank statement or government issued letter from the last 3 months. And to select that option, you'll just need to click no here. Once you've uploaded your documents, it can take a little bit of time to go through the verification process, so you can move on to the next step whilst it processes. Once it does go through, we'll send you an email to let you know. The next step after that is to then add in your references. And in order to set your profile live, we will need to have 2 references sent to us in support of your application. In order to add in the details of your referees, you can just go to this section and add in their name, email address, and your relationship to the referee. Once you do so, we'll then send them over an email with a reference form to complete. It's important to note that we aren't able to accept references from relatives, and we would ideally like a reference from someone who is able to comment on your teaching ability. Whilst we do need at least 2 references, we'd always recommend setting at least 3 details in your account, just in case one of your referees isn't able to get back to us.
Now that you've completed your application, it will come to us for review. It's really important to make sure that you're happy with your application before submitting it to us, as it may be rejected if it doesn't meet our expectations. Once you've had a look at your profile, we'll then send you an email to let you know if we do need you to make any changes to your application, or if you have been successful, and if that is the case, you'll be invited to the next step, which is to attend a one-to-one interview with a member of our customer success team. In the meantime, if you do have any questions, do feel free to get in touch with us on 0114 383 0989, or alternatively email us at support@tutorful.co.uk. Thank you so much for watching this video, and all the best with your application.